Solicitors.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.
Welcome to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. This week we're in Hull. It's been an up and down few weeks for the Stingrays and their head coach Sylvain Cloutier. It's going to get worse as well. After tonight's game, he has to release a player from his roster. Good job it's only the league leading Belfast Giants that are in town. A defeat last week to the Edinburgh Capitals was a defeat too far for their coach Sylvain Cloutier, who gave his whole squad their 2 weeks' notice. Changes have already come about and former captain Curtis Dooley has been re-signed. We'll be speaking to Cloutier ahead of their game here, as well as bringing you the action from around the league. Well, we're up in the hospitality suite here at the Hull Ice Arena. You'll have noticed by now no Anna Woolhouse this week, but I'm joined by Rick Strachan, a man who knows, well, all there is to know about the Hull Stingrays. And Strax, it's been a frustrating time for their coach Sylvain Cloutier and an awkward time for the Stingrays. Many of us expected them to have done a lot better.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we all, myself, I thought that they'd do a lot better. Cloutier did a great job of putting together some quality hockey players, and with the guys returning from last year, I thought they'd at least be 500 at this time of year, and just a terrible start, losing so many games in a row and then winning a couple. Okay.
Many of you will know that the Hull Stingrays players were put on 2 weeks' notice last weekend. That was after a defeat here against the Edinburgh Capitals. An unusual step for any club, any coach to have to take, to put the whole team on 2 weeks' notice. That probably showed his frustration as well as anything.
Well, he identified that the problem wasn't just one or two guys. It was a collection of the whole team, and he just couldn't single out one or two guys and put them on notice. He decided that he would put all of them on notice, and it's kind of worked, and which would be really frustrating for the coach. He brought these guys in thinking they do a great job, and he has to give them their 2 weeks' notice to get the best out of them.
Well, of course, the other thing that's happened with the Hull Stingrays is that their coach has gone behind the bench. Cloutier, a player coach, has gone behind the bench. He's been able to do that because he brought Curtis Dooley into the lineup. He's captain from last year. Dooley, an experienced defenseman, he will have made a difference.
Yeah, he knows the league. He did a great job for him last year. He's a great leader. He'll add some. He'll make it solid back there. He moves the puck very well. He can play in the power play, plays in all situations. So he just brought another good hockey player into his club. And with Cloutier going on the bench, he can make adjustments very quick.
What it also means, and what we touched on at the top of the show, was that Cloutier has got a big decision ahead of him. He has to release one of his players within the next few days. Just from a coaching point of view, doesn't that make you even more incensed that you thought you'd signed a good team? You think you've got a lot of good players. They're not performing well. You put them on 2 weeks' notice, and all of a sudden you get the team that you thought you'd signed. The 2 weeks' notice seems to have given the Stingrays the kick up the backside they needed. But really, Cloutier knew he got a good team, and he kind of needed that to get them going.
Well, it was desperate measures. They went 8 or 9 games without a win, and there's only one thing left to do: light a fire under him. And he did. By doing that, he lit a fire under him. Now, he's got a big decision to make. Who's he going to get rid of? After the 2 week notice, they started playing well collectively as a team. They started winning. Big win in Braehead was not an easy place to play. They smoked them there. So now he's got Dooley in. He's got one extra import. Now what's he going to do? Well, tonight might be the game he's going to decide that on. Right,
well, more on the Hull Stingrays and more on that decision that Sylvain Cloutier will have to make in a short while. I'll be speaking to Cloots in a couple of minutes' time. Before that, the visitors tonight here are the Belfast Giants, and on Saturday night they had the toughest of road trips. They went to Ricksbarn, the NIC in Nottingham, to take on the Panthers. Our man there was Chris Ellis.
A big game at the National Ice Centre, a crowd of over 5,000 to see second against first, and Nottingham knew that a win for them would put them top of the table, but they were on the back foot for much of the first period. The shots on goal don't tell the whole story. Nottingham out shooting the Giants 15-10, but the Giants in control. First goal of the night. Michael Hicks was Johnny on the spot there to see that one across the line. Garside with his 4th goal of the season. Belfast looked by far the strongest side in the first session. Good save there from Kowalski from Garside, stopped him from getting his second, and still it was the Giants that were really out-muscling and out-battling the Nottingham Panthers. There's a chance in front for Lloyd. Good save once more for Craig Kowalski, but Nottingham did start to come back into the game. Corey Nielsen here making a move into the offensive zone. Beautiful pass, and Robert Lakovic with the goal gaping managed to put that one wide. Then Nielsen from the blue line, that shot coming in. Then Fox and Beauregard, they drive it on net and can't just get anything towards the goal. Nottingham on the power play here. Beauregard, Corey Nielsen should have scored there, but put it wide of the right-hand post. You thought it was easier to score. Nottingham piling on the pressure on this power play, all sorts going on, and then David Clark with a chance as well, but that one going over. Nottingham working so hard, but unfortunately just not finding a way through. So it stayed at 1-0, still in the first period. Corey Nielsen shooting wide there. Another chance goes begging for Nottingham, but then the Giants break into the offensive zone. Kowalski goes out to play the puck. Nielsen has it, exchanges passes with Champagne, but then Nielsen gives it away to Garside. Garside, and then ghosting in is Craig Peacock. So 2-0 Belfast, and they have a 2-0 first period lead, a 5th of the season for Garside. Then a wider shooting save from Kowalski, so Nottingham still on the back foot, but then they start to come forward into the offensive zone with Benedict, and Benedict's shot is saved by Murphy, so Nottingham at least getting some chances in on net. All sorts going on here, plenty of movement by Nottingham, and they are about to score their first goal of the game. A lovely shot from the blue line from Guy Lepine. Guy Lepine getting his 4th goal of the season. The assist going to Champagne, and Matthew Myers playing with a hand injury. He's now going to be out of action for probably 2 months, but back came the Giants want more. Clark on his debut, Pele and Mason with the assist on the power play, and then Nottingham at the start of the second. Face-off win, Fox to Myers, and Fox scores, so that's 3-2 game. Just 8 seconds into the 3rd session. We certainly had game on. Could Nottingham find a way through to put it back? Well, Belfast then had plenty of chances in the 3rd session. Doucette and Dignard going close. Nottingham really pushing it in the final stages to try and find a way through. Here you see more chances. That's a shot there from number 15, Dignard. But Nottingham could then not come back into the game. Nottingham 2, Belfast 3.
Well, what a huge win then for the Belfast Giants at the NIC against the Nottingham Panthers. One man who'll be delighted, Doug Christensen, head coach of the Giants. We say huge so often in this sport, but that was a huge win, Doug.
It was a big win for us. There's no doubt about it. Nottingham was an extremely good team. Tons of offense, great goaltending, good team defense, much improved. And for us to get 2 points last night was big for what we're trying to accomplish this year. But a long way to go, but very, very pleased with the effort last evening.
What did you do really well in Nottingham?
I thought we executed. I thought our special teams were a little bit better than theirs. We were able to get a shorthanded goal. We were able to get a power play goal, and that wound up being the difference. I thought we had a great start. Then we were able to hang on there at the end, and overall, it was just our overall team work ethic that was probably superior.
I've just had a cup of coffee with Rick Strachan. He tells me speed and intensity. That was something that the Giants had last night. You have got great speed this year, haven't you?
Well, we're not very big, that's for sure. And we've relied on the motto that you can't touch what you can't catch. And our guys, they can definitely wheel. They've got a passion for the game. And we try to get after teams and make all 5 of their guys play defense at all times. And it allows us, our team speed, to be a bit more aggressive going up the ice because we can get back in time. And if we can continue to, work teams down low and push the pace a little bit, we're usually okay. But Nottingham's a team that can match us step for step, and they're a darn good hockey team.
Is it a 2-all race, Doug?
Definitely not. I can tell you right now, Coventry's gone out, reinvested. Very, very good hockey team. And you got to look at Sheffield. They have 1 loss in the league. If they win all their games in hand, they're in first place. There's no doubt in my mind that there's 4 teams that are all for it.
Well, Big Doug's team is playing the Hull Stingrays tonight here at the Hull Ice Arena. On Saturday night, Sylvain Cloutier took his team to Kirkcaldy. They took on the 5 Flyers. Our man there was Chris Ellis.
Five Flyers are still the only side in the Elite League without a victory this season, and what a start they had looking for that first W. 94 seconds gone, Hamilton's 7th of the season, a fine solo goal. But then they hit injury problems. First of all, Willie Nicholson there was boarded, Bobby Chamberlain getting a match penalty for that. Nicholson on a stretcher went to hospital. Wasn't as bad as first feared, still wasn't nice, but it could now only be a couple of weeks out of concussion, and it was feared it could be much worse. But back came the visitors, short-handed goal, Silverthorne, breakaway to Campbell, and Campbell netting for 1-1. Then the period came to a close, 2 goals in quick succession. First of all, 5-on-3 power play goal, Osman there from the right circle, and then 16 seconds later, now 5-on-4, Rodin from the blue line. So 3-1 first period lead for the Hull Stingrays. Things got better for the visitors into the second session, just 2 minutes and 1 second into that session, and there Silverthorne sets up Osman for his second goal of the night. Then more injury trouble for the Five Flyers. Down there goes Tom's Hartmanis, the recent signing, played for Newcastle last season, head injury, and he was out of the game, so that was more disappointment for the home side. And a giveaway here by Horn, straight onto the stick of Silverthorne, and hey, Silverthorne is not going to miss from there in the right circle. He makes it 5-1, an 11th goal of a very productive season. Still time for another short-handed goal, Dooley to Bakalik, and that is 6-1 and game over. Disappointment for the Flyers, 5-1 all 6.
Klutz, anybody who knows you knows you're a nice guy. You're not a ranter or a raver. So when I heard that you'd given your whole team 2 weeks' notice, I thought, God, you must have come to the end of your tether for you to get to that point. Was it a case of that?
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty long leash and just came, you know, it was the end there. I had enough, and we had 1 win in 13 games or 14 games, and I needed guys to pick up their socks and start working, and it's too bad it came down to that. I mean, we're all professionals, and we got a job to do, and I expect these guys to come to work every day and produce for me and do their job. And for some reason it wasn't happening, so we gave them a 2 weeks notice, and it seems to kickstart things.
Just taking you back, people had given you a little bit of a longer period of time. Your schedule at the beginning was horrendous. You were playing all of the big teams. You were only losing by the odd goal, so nobody really knew how good, how bad you were. You knew you'd signed a good team though. You knew the quality of players that you'd signed before. Did it surprise you when the wheels were coming off the wagon?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's frustrating because most of these guys I'd played against or played with, and I knew what I had. I knew we had a good team. I knew we had a tough schedule to start with, but you know what? They're in our league. We got to play these teams. I mean, if we play them 10 games in a row in December or January, we still got to play these guys. They're in the same league as us, and last season we took points from them, and I feel this team we have this year is better than last season, and there's no reason why we can't take points from the big guys.
So what was the problem? Was your goalie playing bad? Was your defence playing weak? Were your forwards just not scoring?
We weren't scoring, and Boucher obviously was playing really well for us. I think he's been our best player most of this season. You know, if it wasn't up to him, it could have been a lot worse at some nights, and we just weren't scoring goals. I mean, Dominic Osman, Bakalik, Tendler, all these guys, you know, we need these guys to produce every night, and they weren't going. We had Silver was going, he's been going for us all year. But I needed the other guys to get going. If we're going to win hockey games, we got to do it as a group. It's not just 2 or 3 guys. It's 20 guys on the same page here. Yeah.
So what was the reaction then? You laid the cards on the table?
Well, everything went pretty quiet in the room, and the next night we traveled to Dundee, and the guys came and played, and they played hard, and they found a way to win a hockey game. And then, you know, we practiced hard all week. It was pretty quiet. Faced Braehead at home and had a really good game at home. And since then, the guys have been going. But you know, when you're, like I said earlier, when you're a professional, you should be coming to work every day, every night. And maybe they don't make them like they used to.
Does it frustrate you that you had to get the best out of your team? You had to give them 2 weeks' notice. You almost had to take a stick to them. We talk about old school, new school. Guys like yourself, Jared Adams down in Cardiff. You didn't need coaches to hit you, you know, up the backside to get you motivated. You were self-motivated. It must frustrate you that those guys in your room needed that for you to see the best of them.
Yeah, it is frustrating, especially I'm sure G feels the same way. I mean, you know, the way we came up, we were brought up to play the games. You come to play every night and you pay the price, whatever it takes to win a hockey game. And yeah, to go in there and give the 2 weeks notice, and you know, you don't want to do that, but we had to do that and send a message. And it's too bad it took that, because back when we played and we never needed that, you just went out, did your job, went to work, and you know, you came and you competed and you did whatever it took to stay in the lineup and want to be there.
Yeah. You've brought Dooley in. Means you've spent the last couple of 3 games on the bench overseeing your team, looking at your team. Do you know in your own mind who's the one come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday you're going to be having the awkward conversation with?
Yeah, obviously it's nice to get Dooley back. He was a big part of our success last season. He's a leader on and off the ice, and yeah, it's going to be a tough call. I mean, 2 weeks ago I had my mind made up, and now they made things difficult, but you know, we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, you can't just turn it on for 2 or 3 games. You got to be consistent, and in this league you have to be consistent every weekend if you want to have a chance to grab points. So we'll see who's ready tonight and who's going to be ready here in the next few games, and we'll go from there and make a decision. Thanks, Klutz. Good luck tonight. Right, time for a break now. Join us shortly when we'll have the remaining action from around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League, including this big game here in Hull.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Let's get straight back to the action and a roundup of the other games from Saturday night.
Going into Sheffield is difficult enough, but Dundee were without Seaman and Conkle, making that task so much harder. All sorts of scrambles and near misses, and you can barely see that Hutchins gets the final touch there. 1-0 Dundee at 5:29, but then only 20 seconds later, Finity face-off win, Hutton involved as well, and a nice moment for RG Flath on his Steelers debut to get his first goal for the club. But back came Dundee. They had a good first period, and this time it's Mitchell and Turner combining, and there's Dolan alone in the slot, got time to find his spot. 9:20 gone, it's 2-1, and then where's the defence? They're nowhere. Dolan jumps onto the play, and it's a 3-1 lead. What a finish there, and Dundee stars go to their bench and celebrate. So 3-1 first period, and they needed something, did the Sheffield Steelers, and led by Sarridge. Good work from Tate, back to Sarridge, and Sarridge at 2:57 makes it a 3-2 game. But only 11 seconds later, giveaway in centre ice. Here's Zard, the defenceman, low finish. That is 4-2. Steelers 4-2 behind on their own ice. They need something, and they need something quickly, because this game was running away from them. Who do they turn to again? It is Sarridge. Sarridge makes a move left-hand side, and this time it's Flath again, his second of the Steelers night, the Steelers debut for him. So he's having a right good time. That was a 4-3 lead though for Dundee in the second session, so they needed a big session, did the Steelers in the third. 35 seconds gone into that third period, and Esders gets a goal. That makes it 4-4. This is a nice move here from Hewitt. King drives towards the net. Good goal there. So 5-4, 1:41 into the third session. They begin to run away with things then. This time it's Stevenson and Esders combining. Sheffield come with Sarridge. Sarridge, what a move. That could be goal of the season. One end of the ice to the other. Certainly goal of the weekend. What a lovely silky goal. Just see that again. Looks to shoot, but then he sort of dumb his 3 players there. There's 4 of them in picture. None of them know where he's going to go. That's a terrific goal from Sarridge to make it 6-4. Now, what's the next goal going to come? It's going to go Dundee's way. 6-5 from Brent Hughes, so they're back in the game. 1-goal game. Now, one-timer, 7-5, Finity. He loves that one, down on one knee with that celebration, and that makes it 7-5, as I say. And then the final goal came 12 seconds before time. Colt King's 7th of the season. Brave effort by Dundee, but it finishes Sheffield 8, Dundee 5. Challenge Cup action in Wales, and Coventry certainly on a high after last week's victories over Belfast and Nottingham. Here, lovely pass from Jurnick, just touches it off, doesn't he, for Wood. Wood into the offensive zone, takes a bobble, past Lyle, 1-0 game, 6:24. Wood's second of the season, but Cardiff, well, they're strong at home, and they come forward right-hand side with McRae. McRae leaves it off from Madska, rebound, there's all sorts of players there, and who's getting the final touch? Brad Roth, 6th of the season, makes a nuisance of himself, doesn't he, around the net. It's a 1-1 game. Now this is sheer determination. Beerbreit and Dodded. This is what Cardiff do very well on their own ice. They work the boards so well. They just out-muscle Coventry, and that's out in front. And Pearce's 12th of the season. 2-1 game, end of the first session. Now, second period action. Weird goal, that's a giveaway there by the Devils, so Adams has to go all the way back. You can see there's been a line change, and it comes to Pearce, who comes away from Wood, and Pearce gets his second goal of the night and the 13th of the season. It was about time there for Wood, because Wood giveaway there sees Davis come forward. Davis into the offensive zone, and McRae gets his second goal of the season, so 4-1, and suddenly Cardiff are romping to victory. Now, a bit of push and shove in front of the net. There's Voth, and Jernick goes to have a word. Don't forget Jernick, well, he's had a fight with Gilapine, wants to go with Voth. I don't think Voth realises that he would go. Voth just laughs at him. But Jernick will certainly give him a battle, because you've seen him give Gilapine some battles. There we see Davis with the face-off win, and Smith scoring, so that makes it 5-1. That's a nice finish and a nice move from the Devils. And there was still time for more. Smith with the pass, and Matska finishing off to make it goal number 6. That's how it finishes. Cardiff 6, Coventry 1. Challenge Cup action here, and two sides with different fortunes in Group A. It's 3 out of 3 wins so far for Braehead, but 1 win in 6 for Edinburgh. First period action sees Bayrak give the home side the lead at 7:36. And it got better moments later, 8:03 the time on the clock, when Campbell scored his 4th of the season. Into the second session, and the home side began to run away with things. Connon scoring there from Haywood, and Walker with the assist. Seconds later, Mackenzie and Yarrowling combined for Hartman to get Edinburgh's first of the night. It got better for the Caps, the fight back continued. Yarrowling got the 13th goal of a very productive season on the power play, so 3-2. But no, Krestanovic scores to make it 4-2 at 14:23 into session 2, and then Galbraith gets in on the act, his 3rd of the season, with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go in session 2, so that's 5-2 game. Into the 3rd session, and Johnson gets his 3rd of the season, 7:53 into period 3 to make it 6-2. Campbell and Bruce combine, with the game drawing to a close. McPherson there with his 5th of the season. That was the end of the scoring, and Braehead march on in the Challenge Cup. It finishes Braehead 7, Edinburgh 2.
Well, a full schedule of the games then on Saturday. Rick, let's start off with your game against the Belfast Giants at the NIC, and one that could have gone either way.
Yeah, the Belfast Giants came out and they played a great first period. You got up 2-0 on us. We battled back. We made it 3-2 late, early in the 3rd, and then we had a chance late in the 3rd period on a power play where David Clark had a couple nice shots from the slot that just didn't go in. And you know, all the credit to the Belfast Giants. They came away with a well-deserved victory. The
Belfast Giants seem to me to be all about speed and intensity. They are very quick, aren't they?
Oh, they have no weaknesses. They got a great defense, great goaltending, and fast forwards. They're small, but they move very quick, and they are intense.
Well, it's amazing what 2 weeks' notice can do for a team. We talked about it earlier, but the Hull Stingrays, they go to Kirkcaldy, they take on the Flyers. They don't just beat them, they beat them pretty badly.
Oh, it's a pretty impressive performance. You know, it's a long trip all the way up there, and then to go out there and put in an awesome display. I guess that 2 weeks' notice is working.
It is indeed. Sheffield Steelers, they take on the Dundee Stars and they beat them. The Edinburgh Capitals, they go down to the Braehead Clan in Glasgow. No real surprises there.
No, none at all. You know, expected Braehead at home. They're, you know, a good hockey team, and you know they got the job done. And then the Dundee Stars put a little scare into the Steelers. Took the Steelers to score 5 in the 3rd to bury them.
Well, the Coventry Blaze had a good weekend last weekend. It's been pretty tough, actually, for Coventry. Their last 3 games have been against Nottingham, then against Belfast, then against the Cardiff Devils. That game against Cardiff, Rick, could have gone either way. It was a tough one to call, but at the end of the day, Cardiff ran away with that 6-1.
Yeah, it's not something anyone expected. We expected, Cardiff Coventry game to be a battle and a close one, but at the end of the day, the Cardiff Devils put the boots to them last night.
They did indeed. Well, another tough game on Sunday for Paul Thompson and his Coventry Blaze side. Sheffield Steelers were in town.
The last time these two sides met in the league, Sheffield skated to a 6-4 victory in the Sheffield Arena. They have met in the Cup since then, a 2-2 tie in the Sky Dome. So the Steelers were unbeaten against the Blaze this season. Early action was a bout of fisticuffs. Here they want to go, don't they? You can see the words are being said. And Jernick and Colt King, here they're set to go. It is King with the first ones with his right. Jernick comes back then with some rights and left. Then Jernick's jersey goes over his head, so King gets some rights, some uppercuts as well. Period of holding on from both sides, and Jernick tries to get going, and he does. He probably can't see, but gets some rights in. But then those big bombs with the left from King. He's certainly getting the upper hand there, trying to just really get the punches away is Jernick, and certainly Colt King getting the better of the punches. Jernick fighting with the best of them in the Elite League, proving that he really is a good fighter. Colt King at the moment, I would say, the heavyweight champion of the Elite League, proving very tough indeed. Anyway, no goals in the first session. Into the second session, Stevenson for the Steelers off the boards, forced nicely for Colt King. He comes away from Nell into the offensive, so nice move, and the finish there is by Hewitt. First goal of the night goes the Sheffield Steelers' way, and they score at 6 minutes and 3 seconds into period 2. Into session 3, and this time it's another great move from back to front. This time Tate and Clark involved. It's so simple for Jeff LaGuey at the back door. The 7th of the season for him. 5:57 into the third session. Now, Steelers' form in the league at the moment is great. Maybe not the Challenge Cup, but they have the games in hand to go top of the Elite League table. They've just lost once in the league all season. So it was another fine performance by them, and John DeCaro with a 38-shot shutout on the way to his third shutout of the season. Coventry 0, Steelers 2.
Time for a break. When we come back, we'll have the highlights of the game here in Hull between the Stingrays and the Belfast Giants. We'll also have all the other action from around the league on Sunday night in the Elite League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Almost game time here in Hull. The Belfast Giants taking on the Hull Stingrays. A huge night for Cloutier and the Stingrays. With everything that's hanging over them, one of them won't be here this time next week. Have they got a chance, Rick?
They definitely do. They're going to have to play desperate. Their jobs are on the line. They got to come out here. They got to play hard for 60 minutes, and we'll see which guy wants to stay here.
Okay, well, the Belfast Giants, Strack saw them last night, beat the Nottingham Panthers. Speed, intensity, they seem to have everything. Is it the Giants' game to lose?
Yeah, definitely. They're the better team on paper. If they come out and they play like they can, they're a 2-3 goal favorite tonight. Okay
then, well, Rick Strachan goes for the Belfast Giants. I've got to be honest, I'm with him as well. Can't see any other result than a win for Doug Christensen's team. Our man watching the game is Chris Ellis.
Hull went into this game on the back of 3 straight victories. A great situation for them after a bad start to the season. As for Belfast, well, they've won 8 away from home, 8 in a row, and they haven't lost away from the Odyssey Arena. First session action, and the first real chance of the night goes Dowd's way. Good save from Boucher, though, as you see. Here you see Dowd's fallen over as he shoots, and Boucher goes down to his right and makes a very good stop. It was a good period for the Belfast Giants. Hull weren't in it at times. 21-3 the shot count in favour of Belfast. But here you see a bit of rough and tumble on the boards, and then it breaks out into centre ice. No real punches thrown, but 3 players going to the box for roughing minors, and that included George Awada of the Belfast Giants, and then Curtis Dooley and Osman of the Hull Stingrays. So that one really came to nothing, but a little bit of aggro, and that was to set the tone because there was more to follow as the game went on. Anyway, the first goal of the night came short-handed for the Belfast Giants. The pass is picked up, and Lloyd gets his 3rd goal of the season. Unfortunate there, because you see that Rodine is the man that really screens his netminder, unfortunately, and it goes through the legs of Boucher. He looks behind, he can't believe it, and it's a 1-0 game for the Belfast Giants. Then, second session, They needed a response, did the whole Stingrays, and they got it. They outshot the Giants 14-10, and you can see here just sheer determination by the home side. Great movement, great puck possession. They hold on to the puck for so long, and eventually it's Scott and Harper with the assist, and Curtis Dooley just sort of glances in at the back door to make it 1-1. His first goal since returning to the club, but it was all really the strength in possession by the home side to make it 1-1. That was really a good goal, a real sheer determination goal, and that was all tied up in the second session. Time of that goal was 16 minutes and 6 seconds. There was an incident off the play. You just see it in the corner of your screen. Doucette there going for high sticks. Again, a bit of push and shove. No real punches thrown, no real gloves dropped, but it certainly was a feisty affair at times here in Hull. Anyway, power play time, and this could have been a very different story. Tendler 1-on-1, and Murphy denies him. If that had gone in, how different could things have been? But it stayed at 1-1, real disappointment. Then there is a turnover. Sylvain Cloutier was later to say that he thought it should have been a penalty on the play, but the goal going in there for Doucette, and Doucette scoring for the Giants' attempt of the season. But you'll see here the way it goes in. It takes a deflection in off the player and then off the post. So it's a 2-1 game. Real unfortunate for the Stingrays after they had such a good second session and third session. Again, there was a bit of a push and shove off the play. It left a Hull Stingrays player down, as you're about to see. It was Crane going for tripping, a 2-minute minor, so it saw a power play situation for the Hull Stingrays to end the game. They had a chance to tie things up at 2-2, but as so often happens, the puck doesn't fall nicely, and the Giants will break away. And into an empty net is Garside for his 5th of the season. Keith was the man with the assist, his 3rd assist of the night. There you go, real unfortunate for the Stingrays. They gave it their all, but Belfast stayed clear at the top. It finishes Hull Stingrays 1, Belfast 3.
What are your thoughts after that one, Doug?
Very disappointed that we got outworked again. That's the second time in 3 nights that we got outworked, but this is a results-based business, and we got the result, we got the win. Huge road weekend for the team, and I think the guys all hopefully learned a lesson about when you come into buildings that you got to put teams away in the first period when you have a chance.
Was that your problem? You didn't put them away? 17-3, you outshot them. Really should have been game over at the end of one.
For sure. We didn't take our opportunities when we had them. I thought the guys definitely have enough offense in our team to put that team away. But you know what? Having coached those small teams for 3 years, they hang around, and all of a sudden the momentum's all on their side. And that showed this evening. And we were fortunate to get a couple breaks and a couple bounces, because had Stephen Murphy not played the game that he did, we probably would have walked out of here with nothing. Both
teams 0 for 6 on the power play. Both teams had chances.
Well, our power play didn't get to the nets, didn't get to the dirty area. They frustrated us up ice. I didn't think our defensemen did as good of a job as they can do with breaking them down. Our penalty kill's been the best part of our team all year. We lead the league in penalty kill. We're aggressive, we get after teams, everybody knows what we're doing. But the flip side of that coin is they got to be able to break it. So proud of our penalty kill. That's a heck of an effort by those guys. That's 2 nights in a row against a couple of the top power plays in the league not to give up a goal.
They say, though, that good teams find a way. And did you feel that the longer it went, that you would have that one chance and then take advantage?
I don't know, a couple of my guys are playing with blindfolds on, so I'm not sure. We were giving a couple pucks away there, but you know what? When you have enough skill in the team that we do, the team doesn't have to be great. One guy just has to make a great play. And I thought we had enough talent. And that's what I kept telling the guys. I said at about the 7-minute mark, we don't have to be great for the first 53, but we got to be great for the next 7. And we were fortunate to get that goal and the insurance goal at the end.
Klutz, a great effort. You must be absolutely gutted.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? The boys worked hard all night, and if we could have got a bounce here or there, maybe would have went our way. Went off Sam's chest there in our net. They got a lucky break, and you know what? The guys battled all night, and you know that team's top of the table right now, and we took it to them right till the end. And like I said, maybe if we got a bounce here or there, maybe it's a different story.
First period, they pretty much took it to you. What was the big difference in the first period to the second 2 that followed?
Oh, we stopped watching. You know, in the first period, we kind of sat back. We were watching, took a couple lazy penalties. We weren't moving our feet. We weren't skating. And I said, you guys got to skate. You got to skate with this team, and you got to want it, and you got to want to compete and win the little battles. And the guys came out in the second. They were moving their feet, skating. playing on the D side of things and working hard. And you know, we had our chances, and Murph made some nice saves.
At the other end, another man who battled and competes was Boucher. He was phenomenal.
Yeah, Bush. Yeah, I said Bush has been our MVP this season. He's been holding us in games, and he's been making the big saves. And you know, we're trying to reward him by winning some games from him and finding a way. And tonight we just got unlucky. I mean, you know, we deserve better tonight.
Yeah, you know what the last question's going to be? It's going to be you're only a day, 2 days away from a very difficult decision. After a performance like that, how do you release a guy?
You know, it's tough because everything I asked them to do since we gave them the notice, they've worked extremely hard, they've battled, they've showed they want to be here, but you know, there is going to be a tough call. A decision's going to have to be made. Obviously, we can't afford to carry an extra import. It's not in our budget, and yeah, it's going to be a tough decision. But you know, we'll enjoy tonight. The guys played hard, and let them enjoy tonight.
So the Giants make it a 4-point weekend, and the Stingrays go down to another narrow defeat. Join us after the break, and we'll have the rest of the action from around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League.
Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports.
Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. We've been at the Hull Ice Arena seeing the Stingrays take on the Belfast Giants, and Strachan, Sylvain Cloutier will be kicking himself. He had a great chance to get 2 points there, but it just wasn't to be.
No, it was a game of two halves. The Belfast Giants dominated the first half of the game, and the Stingrays caught fire in the second half and dominated, and it was a goaltending show after that.
Yeah, a lot of power plays tonight, 6 for both teams. Power play just didn't click though, did it?
No, both teams had chances on the power play, but the goalies made both great saves to keep the shutout going on the power plays.
I got to be honest, I couldn't believe that both goalies weren't the man of the matches here. Boucher was outstanding, but so was Murphy. He gave his team a chance to win, and that's all you can expect from your goalie.
Murphy played outstanding in the later part of the period. They had a power play, made numerous great saves. He solidified the win for them with some outstanding goaltending.
Now, as we've been saying all the way through the show, Hull Stingrays coach Sylvain Cloutier, he's got a tough job. One of those players that has just worked their backsides off, put a great effort in, is going to be losing his job within the next couple of days. You've been there, you've had to release guys as a head coach. That's the toughest of jobs that Cloutier's got. Any idea who it could be?
I have no idea. All the players played outstanding tonight. He's, you know, hopefully he will not base his decision on tonight's game. It'll be based on the season so far.
Okay, well, tough decision for Sylvain Cloutier, but that's what they pay him the money for, to make those decisions that hopefully will make the Stingrays a better team. Time now for 2 more games, both up in Scotland. First of all in Murrayfield, where the Edinburgh Capitals were taking on the Braehead Clan, a reverse of Saturday's game. And then up in Dundee, where the Cardiff Devils were the visitors. And you know, Cardiff aren't over keen on going to Scotland.
Braehead are the Jekyll and Hyde team at the moment. Great at home, but poor on the road. Giveaway there by Bannister saw the Caps come forward. And Yarrelin, he feeds Hartman, and Yarrelin and Hartman combine again to get the first goal of the night. An 8th of the season for Hartman, and the home side ahead at 6:54. It got better for Edinburgh. This time Vallejo and Hartman providing the assists, and McKenzie with his 5th goal of the season. The flick there just in front of the net. 2-0 at 9:47. There needed to be a reply from the visitors, and it came in the form of Kyle Bruce. First of all, steals the puck, dump in on net. That's a chase for Campbell. Campbell comes away from his man, and it's 2-1 game, so suddenly very much game on. Had Edinburgh got much left in the tank? Well, they certainly had. Here they're coming forward. This is second period action, and Edinburgh certainly looking the better side. That's a booming shot from just inside the blue line, and that is Yarrelin's 14th goal of the season. 3-1. The Caps continue to come forward. That's a lovely solo goal from McKenzie. A 6th of the season for McKenzie. That really was a terrific goal. He made it look so easy, didn't it? Still Edinburgh pressure, this time in the third, and this time Menton and Safar combined for Zemberg's 3rd of the season. 8:08 into the third session, 5-1. Now, there needed to be a fight back from Braehead. Were they going to get back into this game? First of all, McPherson, nice weighted goal there. He just waited to shoot on the power play. 11:43 into the final session. That made the game 5-2. Was there to be a big comeback? Well, Braehead did start the move in the final stages. Here, we're into the final few moments, and when the puck goes in from Walker, there is just 4 seconds to go, so no chance of any more. Final score in the league, Edinburgh 5, Braehead 3. It's been a tough old season so far for the Dundee Stars, and like Saturday night, they were without Conkle and Seaman, but power play time in the first session, good movement, and it is Mitchell and Dolan with the assist for Turner for his first goal of the season. That's a first period lead at 12:05. It got better for Brennan Turner. Watch this move, away from one on the boards, cuts inside on another and another. What a finish, a terrific goal from Brennan Turner, and the home side were 2 up, 8:50 into the second session. Now, bit of rough and tumble coming up inside the second session still. All sorts of players involved. It seems to be dying down, but then more get involved, and no one really totally pairs off to throw punches. But what we did see was Frank and Voth from the Devils and Zark from the Dundee Stars sitting for 2 minutes for a roughing. Things got a bit better for Cardiff as the period came to a close. This is still the second session, and it's Hill and Adams combining. Goalie will want that one back. Madskut with the finish of 4th of the season. That was just 6 seconds to go in the second session. 42 seconds into the third. Lovely move from Pearson Beerbrae to set up Matska, so he has a 5th of the season. 2-2 then. And now you're about to see a holding penalty on Frank. Nothing too untoward there. Goes to the box, all okay. Puts the stick down. The red mist descends there. Smashes that one up. He gets another 10-minute misconduct, so that's 2 in the game. That's again misconduct, thrown out of the game. Chucked his helmet as well for good measure. He is one unhappy chappy. Devils had a chance to win it here, but good save from Whitley, denying Pearce. So to penalty shots. First of all, Max Beerbrae denied by Whitley. Whitley having a stellar game. Now at the other end, Brent Hughes, GB International. Great move on Lyle. Goes to the right. That is 1-0. So Matska could do with scoring to add to his 2 in the game. No, glove save. Good one that. Now Mitchell thrown out of the last game at Dundee. Finishes low, and that's the W and the 2 points for the Stars and 1 for Cardiff. It finishes Dundee 3, Cardiff 2.
Let's take a look at all the results then from the weekend. On Saturday, Braehead 7-2 over Edinburgh, Cardiff 6-1 over Coventry, Fife losing at home 6-1 to the Stingrays, Nottingham going down 3-2 at the NIC, and Sheffield in a shootout against the Dundee Stars 8-5. On Sunday, a lot tighter. Coventry shut out at home against the Steelers. Edinburgh reversing Saturday's result with a 5-3 win over the Braehead Clan. The result we've seen here, Belfast 3-1 over the Hull Stingrays, and the Cardiff Devils going down 3-2 to Dundee, that one in a shootout. Let's see how that affects the league standings. Pretty much as you were at the top of the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League, the Giants extending their league to 5 points. You'll see Sheffield join Nottingham in second place, and then pretty much as you were. So, as we've just said, the Belfast Giants extend their lead at the top of the Elite League. A great win for Belfast. Any other results that take your eye on Sunday night?
Yeah, of course, Edinburgh's victory over Braehead. I thought for sure Braehead would go in there and get a victory. And of course, the great win by Dundee in the shootout against Cardiff. I guess Cardiff doesn't travel very well to Scotland.
Well, you and I have been talking about that during this game here tonight. It must be an 11-hour trip for the Cardiff Devils to reach those Scottish teams, and it's obviously taking its toll.
Well, yeah, it is. It's 7 hours is long. 11 hours is just way too long to sit in a bus. I guess they're going to have to get the owner to fly him up there next time.
I'm really pleased, though, for Dan Seaman. He's under a bit of pressure in Dundee. He needed that win, didn't he?
Yeah, it's you want to win at home, and the Dundee Stars, have had a few results that didn't go their way at home, and it's good to see him knock off Cardiff tonight and get a couple points in the bank. This
time last week we were talking about the rise of the Coventry Blaze. They just beaten the Panthers and then the Belfast Giants. 1 week later, they've lost a couple. You cannot tell with the Coventry Blaze right now. They lose in Cardiff on Saturday and then get shut out at home again.
It's not the results they wanted. You know, they still had a chance to stay in the Challenge Cup, and they went into Cardiff and got blown out. And for whatever reason, they got back home on a Sunday night, and a tough place to play, the Sky Dome, and get shut out by the Steelers. You know, congratulations to the Steelers. They must have played a great road game.
Well, there's been 9 great games in the Elite Ice Hockey League this weekend. We've got another 9 or 10 for you next weekend as well. May we suggest you take in one of them. Let's start off on Saturday, the 5th of November. Up in Glasgow, the Braehead Clan taking on the Belfast Giants. The Cardiff Devils take on the Nottingham Panthers. Home games for the Edinburgh Capitals against the Coventry Blaze and the Five Flyers against the Dundee Stars. And in the Challenge Cup, the Hull Stingrays against the Sheffield Steelers. Flip forward 24 hours. At the Skydome Arena, Doug Christiansen takes the Giants into Coventry. Dundee hosts the Braehead Clan. Hull on a double home header, this time against the Cardiff Devils. The Panthers at home against the Five Flyers. And the Sheffield Steelers at Ice Sheffield against the Edinburgh Capitals. Every weekend's a big weekend in the Elite Ice Hockey League, Rick, and some great fixtures ahead. The ones that stick out to me, the 2 for the Belfast Giants. That's tough, going into Braehead on a Saturday night when they're at full strength, and then that trip down to Coventry on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's just 2 doubleheaders in a row for the Belfast Giants. Yeah, Braehead, they play very strong at home, and then it's a long bus trip down to Coventry, and I know Tom was going to have his boys wound up for that one.
Yeah, you'll be a Coventry fan and a Braehead fan next week then.
Of course I am.
Of course you will be. Right, plenty of action next week to look forward to, and you can see it all on next week's Sky Show, Friday the 11th of November at 10 p.m. on Sky Sports 4, and that show is repeated on Sky Sports 2 at 9 a.m. on Saturday the 12th. Well, we've had a good night here at the Hull Ice Arena seeing the Stingrays. Remember, they have 2 home games next weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and if you live in the local area, we'd urge that you take one of those games in. All that remains now is for me to thank Rick. Good to see you again, Rick, and thanks for coming and joining us.
It was great to be back, Dave, and enjoy your hockey.
Okay, enjoy it. We'll see you this time next week.
Rapid Solicitors, sponsors of the Elite Ice Hockey League on Sky Sports. Accident compensation and medical negligence claims.